And what I decided to do over here is to screw these in just to make sure they would screw in. You may remember back there I had a manifold bolt and it wouldn't go in. Well, this one's not much wanting to go in, and it looks like it's got some old, probably gasket material. If you look down in there, you can see it. If I can get the angle right, you can see it. Old gasket material stuff in it, which is there's several ways to get that out. One actually pretty good way to do it is to run a tap and die thing down in there, but I might be able to blow that out too. Take an air compressor. Let's try it. That looks pretty clean down in there now. So let's see. Yeah, I believe that's going to be deep enough. What I'll do is I'll put me some gasket material on here. Put me a gasket on that, and we'll put that back on. Scrape off that little bit of stuff right there. There's me a gasket right there. Oh, that one looks... That's too big. That's not the one. That's the one right there. That's the one I want. So, let's see what I got. Let's see now, the next thing I could do is put this little thing on over here. You may remember the other day I painted that little piece that goes right there, and a couple of small bolts to go with that. I don't know. See if I can find some of them, a couple of them. And then these big bolts, bolts that go up here in this part. So there's a couple of things I have to do here. One is, you know, put the Permatex on this and put a gasket on the back side of it, but the other is to put the pin. There's a pin that goes up in this hole here, and I'll need to put that fuel pump rod up in there. So I'm going to turn up in the hole right here, and that directs it right up to where the camshaft is. Now normally when you take your finger off that, it slides back out. The trick is to put, well, that goes so far in there, it almost makes me want to spin that to make sure that, Todd, there's a little wheel that you have to put inside there. It pushes that in and out. I almost want to spin it to make sure we got that right. I suppose I can do that. I ought to do that. I'd rather do it now than find out it ain't in there later. Take this wrench off. Take this off here. So I can leave that distributor where it is. If I don't turn it a whole lot, I think I'm going to generate a lot of oil flow. Basically, I just need to turn it enough to see if that rod's going to move in and out. Because there's a ring you have to put behind that timing chain cover. That drives that in and out. So I'm going to hit the starter and see if it pushes it out. Yep, it did. So, okay. So I know that's in there. So now I can, I suppose I could go ahead and turn this around one full turn, or two full turns. See, now I'm watching my timing mark right here. So So that's one turn. It's coming back up now, and I'll turn it the rest of the way with this wrench, because I want to get it back on top dead center. So I'm going to slab a little grease on this thing and shove it up in there. There. Okay, so now I'll get this thing ready with the gasket and all, and we'll come back. Suppose I could go ahead and pull these two little things out. Just double check, make sure they're going to fit. I'm pretty sure they are. They've been pretty good about providing me with the right stuff so far in these packets of bolts. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to do the same thing I was talking about up there. Just run these in, make sure they go all the way in and out, so I don't have to clean out the hole. You know, like I was saying a while ago, sometimes you get dirt in them holes, old gasket material such as that. That can be a problem. That was not so very perfect. Let's blow that one out with the air compressor like we did that other one a while ago. Now I went ahead and splashed a little bit of grease on this thing. This is going to be the point that works on that stick. I could go ahead and tighten this up while I have this off too. That way wouldn't have to reach up under there with a wrench later on to do that. Basically all I'm doing is tightening up the on this fuel pump. This is the in line for the gas. This is the out line for the gas. So I'm just going to go ahead and adjust this from here. Just in case y'all didn't see that, I may not have been holding it right. This is the line that the gas comes into. There's actually, you can see two letters right there that say IN right under that. This is the gas it goes out to, and it goes up to the carburetor from there. I had to buy this little nipple at the parts store. This came with this one, but not with that one. So, and all I'm doing right now is just snugging this up good. So we got a good tight little connection there, so that won't leak when we get ready to do what we want to do. And the next thing I'm going to do is get the washers together for these bolts right here. So each one of these takes a flat washer and a lock washer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to reach over in here and touch that little rod right there. Remember we talked about that rod? And you may be able to see it right in there. Making sure that it's still up. And then when I put this in, I need to make sure that this fork goes down under that rod like this. Like this. Like this. That's going to make that a little messy on the back side, but we can still get it on there good like that. Put this with the pumper part down like we talked about, the little handle. Make sure it goes underneath that part that's that rod that we put in there a while ago. Now sometimes on one of these there'll be a little bit of a spring load where that rod pushes down on that thing from inside there when you tighten these up. Okay, so next thing I ought to do is find, there's a little key lock thing that goes right up on that. Looks like my distributor kicked up a little bit. I might need to give that a little more attention to get it to be right where it should be. I might need to kind of look at that a little bit. So I need a little lock that goes right here, and I think that's going to be in that box over there. So I'll probably just go over here and start the search. This is going to be in my Charles Dyer nut and bolt box over here. Probably I could. I've already looked in this other box, I think. And I don't think it's in this one. I think I might have tossed it over in this one. I probably ought to get me a third box over here. And I could, because I got things that could go in a box like that. So I don't have to handle them, keep handling them. Like this could be for my lifters and my rods that I got here. I'll put that rod in there, and this in there, and this in there. And this, and that, and that. So here's what I'm looking for right here. See, this little thing is going to go on that distributor, and what I want to do is clean that up first. So I think what I might do is come over here. And let's see, I could do it on that thing over there if I can do it without nubbing off a finger. Not plugged in. I could wash that with some carburetor cleaner. Look at that. Now I'm going to go ahead and tighten this down because, see, I want this to push this shaft down in the intake manifold there. It was kind of sitting up high. It wasn't all the way down in there where it needs to be. So I will loosen it because the whole point of this right here is that you can adjust the timing. This is how you adjust the timing, is on this by turning this. That needs to be loose enough to turn, but not too loose so it turns too easily. See, right now I can turn that a little, which is good. That's just about that's just the way you want it right there. So, yeah. So I got the distributor in there and the bolt on there. I've got the water temperature gauge cover over here. Looks like I got a little extra gasket material that I can wash off, wipe off of that. There, make that look better. While it can still be wiped off, before it becomes stuctimacated to it. This is a water jet. This is water. As long as there's no water in that, it don't need to be in there. But what is going to need to be in there is the, I'm going to I'm going to want to hook the oil pressure up